And what kind of things does the ball club do?
Well, the club meets once a month and has a covered dish dinner and a program. There was a time that we went on trips, bus trips. We bought our bus, and at one time we were a big church. We're a big building with a small body now. We have maybe 100, 150.
So what kind of changes have you seen to Orlando or the Pine Hills area over the years?
It has all moved west. I was so surprised when our grocery stores all moved. My boys, Lee and Phil, both worked at the Pine Hills Drive-In, the movie theater, and they both worked, Lee worked at the Golden Pagoda. I think they both worked there. That was a Chinese restaurant that was in the Pine Hill Shopping Center. And it's been gone 10 or 15 years now. What was the question again?
What kind of changes that you've seen in the area?
And well, we came before Disney. We came before the coast was open. The same year Disney opened, they were allowing ships to come into the East Coast.
Oh, on the east side.
They let the big ships come
Daytona.
in there. It was above Daytona.
That's all right.
Yeah. And they opened the ports, is what it amounted to. And so there was a drastic change. There was a time that we went to, if we wanted to go to Penny's or Sears or Montgomery Ward's, there was a Montgomery Ward's in. You went downtown on Orange Avenue. And my two youngest boys would go in a sporting store and sit on the steps and watch fishing shows while I did my shopping.
And what about, you mentioned Disney World. When Mr. Disney came to town and Disney World came along, what did your family and your neighbors think about that? Was that generally well received, or were there concerns? Or?
It was mixed.
And what did you personally think about it?
Oh, I was excited, but my family wasn't. So, like I say, it was mixed, and we were a family that we decided everything together. So. Yeah, we've seen the streets broaden and the neighborhood change, and oh, my neighborhood has changed so drastically. I am the senior on my street now. I was not at the time, but there was several families that stayed on my street till they passed away. So it was a good neighborhood street.
And what was your favorite thing about living in Pine Hills? What is it you like the most about the area?
Easy access to everything. Easy access to I-4. The interstate now, it's, in my opinion, it's still the best location in town to get on any of the interstates and go wherever you want to go.
And you mentioned being the senior in your neighborhood, but do you still have some friends in the Pine Hills area that were there around the same time you came along, or lifelong friends from the area?
Well, the most of my lifelong friends have moved to Claremont. You know, moved out west or moved with their children. On my street, no, there's no one left. It's the Sellerses, the Pardis, the Goodriches, the Jacksons. They're all gone, and the children are in their homes, and some of them have lost their homes because Mom and Dad had the homes paid for, and they second mortgaged them to put Mom and Dad in nursing homes and facilities like such.
Well, speaking of your home, you mentioned that when you selected your home, you wanted your husband to come out and take a look at it, and then you kind of convince him. What was it about the house that you just fell in love with that you thought was so wonderful?
Location. It's still location. And at that time, there was a golf course at the end of Golf Club Parkway, just past Sarazan West. And there was a 9-hole golf course. And we left in '80 and came back in '85. And in the meantime, they had built a swimming pool. They had a tennis court at the golf course.
Wow,
But
I bet that was a popular place.
It was, and then it didn't work. My daughter was in college, and then she met and married and lived in Pine Hills. And my first grandbaby, was born at Mercy Hospital. And my good friend Betty Reynolds was the attending nurse. Dr. Rafael Martinez was the attending doctor. And Betty lives in Groveland now, her and her family.
So it sounds like your family has some real strong ties to the area.
We do.
And what about your granddaughter? Does she still live in the area?
Well, she did until just recently, and she's moved over to Edgewater, to the East Coast, in her other grandmother's home. So, well, the library was behind Hardy's at the time we came, and then it's moved all around to
Multiple places.
to where it is now. And when it was on Hiwassee, that building was built especially for and I knew the contractor, the man and his wife that built it. It's the round building.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
But it's, like I say, it's moved quite a bit. But we've always had a library.
At least 5 locations that I know of. I think this branch has been the most places.
And it's moved. It's, like I say, Pine Hills has moved west. What I miss most is there is no cafe to sit down and have breakfast in Pine Hills, to my knowledge.
And I'm sure that used to be not the case, definitely, right?
Oh, no, definitely not. Pine Hills was a very active, very good community. We had car shows at the Pine Hill Shopping Center. We had an ice skating rink and a roller rink down at John Young and 50.
An ice skating rink?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Ice skating rink.
And
there was a theater there, a walk-in theater. And
well, thank you very much for your time today. We're so glad that you could come in and join us and share your memories of the area.
Well, I hope I've covered everything. It's been a while.
Well, we hope that you're here for a long more while to come.